This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Offline. The list of Nova Scotians looking for a family doctor is no longer on the web. A move opposition MLAs say is politically motivated. Building trust. Nova Scotia RCMP implements a plan to better serve the province's Black community. And preserving history. The 2S LGBTQ+ community moves to archive thousands of images taken by the late activist Anita Martinez.
First day of March for Saturday, and the shoulder season is always known for its ups and downs. And let's just say this weekend will be on brand for March in the Maritimes.
The Provincial Health Authority has removed the tab indicating the number of people looking for a family doctor from its accountability reporting website. The health minister says the change is a result of ensuring the list is accurate. But opposition MLAs say the move is politically motivated. Michael Gorman reports.
The Health Authority posted updates to the Need a Family Practice Registry on this website until last June. That's when the updates were paused to ensure the list's accuracy. Now it's been removed. With the validation work continuing, the health minister says that for now updates will come via monthly news releases from the Health Authority.
That is the way we're going to do it for now, and then we'll look at once that validation work is over, we'll look at what the best way to communicate on an ongoing basis is.
This month's update showed about 104,000 people looking for a family practice, but those updates do not include the level of detail previous posts did, which broke down the numbers by community. The leader of the NDP says the change is part of a pattern of secrecy by the government.
The government publishes glossy brochures to tell us they've done a great job. They get up and applaud themselves ad nauseum when they talk about health. But Nova Scotians deserve to have their own information and to draw their own conclusions.
This Liberal MLA thinks the list was pulled because the government cannot get it below 70,000 people, the level it was at when the PCs came to power in 2021.
I think that they were overpromising on their plan to fix healthcare, and despite all their initiatives, some of them good, they won't ever get that list to below where they said they were going to.
Thompson says her goal is to get the list down below 5% of the population, or about 50,000 people. Michael Gorman, CBC News at Province House.
Premier Houston is calling the Bloc Québécois to pivot from an anti-oil pipeline position. Amid the U.S. tariff threat, Houston says he wants the Energy East pipeline to be resurrected to bring oil from Western Canada to refineries in Atlantic Canada. But the Bloc leader, Yves-François Blanchet, said last week he was fiercely opposed to the project. In a letter to Blanchet, Houston says interprovincial trade barriers need to be lifted to allow Canada to be more self-sufficient. Houston says he was blown away by Blanchet's comments and his eagerness to disparage opportunities for all Canadians for energy security and intentionally alienate Atlantic Canada is appalling. Houston says it's within Canada's national interest to revive the pipeline and asked Quebec to reconsider its position. There's more reaction to Clearwater pulling out of the inshore lobster business in Nova Scotia. Many in the industry say it's a tough business to make money in right now, and things need to change. The CBC's Kyle Moore has that story.
For many who live in Arichat, there's a lot of uncertainty after Nova Scotia fishery giant Clearwater Seafoods announced it was getting out of the live lobster business. The company has shut down its processing plant in the community. With a population of around 2,000 people, the loss of more than 80 jobs is devastating.
People have been pretty upset. People, don't know what's going to happen, are surprised, they're worried about, there's some workers that had a job there that will get EI, but some of them that are brand new won't.
Employ a large amount of people in the community, and it's going to hurt the community as a whole if this doesn't open back up.
Clearwater also laid off workers in Lockport, where the seasonal lobster processing line is being eliminated. About half of the workers there gone.
It's a bit of a wake-up call for arguably the leading company to exit lobster.
Stuart Lamont is managing director of Tangier Lobster on the Eastern Shore and a lobster buyer who ships all over the world. He says right now it's a risky business.
The challenge is the current combination of cost and quality and extreme competition make it hard to achieve a return on investment.
Competition for lobsters is really high. And, you know, we have a lot of people that are, in my opinion, taking too much risk.
Ella McLean of Louisbourg Seafoods is president of the Nova Scotia Seafood Alliance. There's some room for cautious optimism. Clients in Europe and Asia and the Middle East want to buy lobster from Nova Scotia.
It's the backbone of many of the coastal communities here in Nova Scotia. And, you know, it's a key economic driver. But I think as an industry, we've got to get a lot smarter.
McLean says the threat of U.S. tariffs might not have caused Clearwater's decision, but the industry is definitely concerned. Meanwhile, there is some hope for Arichat. Clearwater says it has a potential buyer for its Arichat plant, and workers could be rehired in May. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Arichat.
An investigation is underway into a fatal apartment fire in Digby. The fire broke out in a home on Birch Street at around 8 a.m. Friday morning. RCMP say while multiple people were able to make it out safely, a body was found inside. Police did not provide any details about the person who was found dead. The Office of the Fire Marshal and the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner are assisting in the investigation. A new temporary homeless shelter for men has opened in Halifax's North End. The 25-bed shelter on Brunswick Street inside St. Patrick's Church will provide space for 25 people. The shelter will stay open until at least August and has the capacity to expand to 40 beds. The shelter will offer 2 meals a day, sleeping kits, and washrooms. The province is investing $1.1 million for the shelter. Souls Harbour Rescue Mission will provide staff, the meals, and wraparound services. Jay Scotland is in for Ryan tonight, and it sounds like these temperatures are just going to be all over the place.
Yeah, I know it's been a nightmare for roads. I think that's what Ryan's doing, trying to find his car. It fell into a pothole earlier. It could take some time to locate. My goodness, the freeze, the thaw, always hard on the roads this time of year. Certainly we had that rainfall warning in place this morning as well, which did not make conditions very nice for travel. Temperature-wise, though, look at that. It was between 6 and 9 degrees, looking at observations from earlier today. But the cooler temperatures are now building in, and that freeze thaw, the up and down, the roller coaster ride that are temperatures in the Maritimes here in Nova Scotia in early March, because we are looking ahead to March 1st. That will be the case. Very chilly through the overnight hours tonight into your Saturday morning. But look at that. On the plus side, 2 to 4 degrees by late afternoon. Possibly even warmer with some wet snow showers changing to rain showers with that strong but warm southerly wind into the evening. So that freeze and thaw looks to continue for your Saturday. Amy?
All right. Thanks for that, Jay. Nova Scotia RCMP is implementing its plan to better serve Black people in this province after apologizing for its use of street checks. The force is now educating officers and staff about Nova Scotian history and anti-Black racism. Josh Hoffman reports.
Nova Scotia RCMP is in the process of figuring out how to better serve Black communities with a major focus on education. Last September, the province's top Mountie apologized to all Black people in Nova Scotia for its past use of street checks after a study found people of color in the Halifax area were 6 times more likely to be stopped by police than others.
In my opinion, there's no valid reason as to why an apology has not been issued before. We have disrespected your community.
Everyone CBC News spoke to that day said an apology was necessary, but it needed to be the first of many steps to establish trust between RCMP and Black communities. A key part of the RCMP plan is African Canadian Experience Workshops, a multi-day course about Black history and anti-racism. The first workshop since the apology was held last month at the Black Cultural Centre for Nova Scotia.
So we make sure that people come in and hopefully that they leave here with a better and a stronger understanding and a willingness to want to assist or be an ally to the African Nova Scotian community.
The workshop will be held 3 times a year and is open to other police departments in the province and people who work within the justice system.
It really made me think about things that I wasn't really forced to think about before.
It's kind of really opened my eyes in relation to, incidents that might have happened that we might have discussed but never really acted on.
The RCMP's plan focuses on increasing knowledge of African Canadian history, community engagement, and recruitment and retainment of Black officers.
listening to the community, listening to the impact of street checks, and then using that information to form our action plan was clearly the most important thing for community. Because they said the apology is important, but the action post that is very important.
An African Nova Scotian sociologist says when it comes to action, education is important. But he'd like to see RCMP reimagine the role to be more proactive in helping address issues in Black communities like poverty, housing, and systemic racism.
Police agencies that are using their vantage point to help design and advocate for and seek funding for the kinds of services and programs in the community.
Wright admits he's not very confident in RCMP leadership after former Commissioner Brenda Lucki denied systemic racism existed in the agency. But Assistant Commissioner Daly says he's listening to people like Wright and he's committed to making change within the RCMP. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
PEI Premier Rob Lance is lobbying the Prime Minister to eliminate tolls on the Confederation Bridge and fees for the ferry between PEI and Nova Scotia. It was one of his first moves as Premier. Lance was sworn in last Friday after Dennis King's surprise resignation. He and Justin Trudeau had a virtual meeting to talk about removing barriers to interprovincial trade. Lance says nixing the tolls and fees would be an easy start.
Our number one and really biggest interprovincial trade barrier here is our bridge and ferry tolls. And I was very direct about that. I know that it's probably a bit of a broken record, but if we need a quick win on interprovincial trade, for us, it is those tolls.
Lance says Trudeau is planning to set up a meeting with him and Intergovernmental Affairs Minister Dominic LeBlanc. Nova Scotia is now the latest province to sign on to the National School Food Program. The agreement will see the federal government invest $12.4 million over 3 years. That money will be used to enhance the school breakfast program the province already runs, which is serving 52,000 kids this year. Earlier this month, 2S LGBTQ+ activist and photographer Anita Martinez died, leaving behind tens of thousands of photos. As Juliana Grillo reports, the community is trying to archive decades' worth of images that depict marginalized communities in Halifax.
Daniel McKay's computer has been running code for hours while an external drive is connected to it. He's in the process of sorting, copying, and cataloging the data on 13 of these drives, all to preserve tens of thousands of photographs. The fate of these photos fell in his lap after his friend, Anita Martinez, recently died. She was a photographer for over 40 years who documented the 2S LGBTQ+ community and the women's rights movements in Halifax.
She did do a great deal of portraiture, but for the queer community stuff, a lot of it was candid photos. And so these are just photos as if you were standing in the crowd. This is what you saw.
Creighton Barrett, an archivist, says these photos are significant because they capture what life looked like in those times for marginalized communities. Martinez documented some of the earliest pride parades and Take Back the Night marches in Halifax, took portraits of the founding members of the Nova Scotia Persons with AIDS Coalition, and more.
The struggle for human rights and anti-discrimination, these are all still current battles that are happening today, and so you do see how far things have come, but also it's a poignant reminder of how far we have to go.
Eric Smith says Martinez was his best friend. They met when he was a member of the Nova Scotia Persons with AIDS Coalition at a time when it was heavily stigmatized. There, he says she would often be a motherly figure for a young gay man who had been cast aside.
A lot of them had been kicked out of their homes. They had basically no possessions. A lot of them came from rural areas. But Anita was there with her camera, and it became really important for a lot of these guys to have a photo portfolio of themselves to leave to their friends.
McKay hopes once the photos on the computer are archived, they can be left for future generations. Juliana Grillo, CBC News, Halifax.
Oh, there's a lovely sunset. Jay's up next with the weather forecast. We'll see you after the break. Okay, Jay, so the weekend is here, and it sounds like we need several changes of clothes to get through it.
Yeah, it's almost like we need to pack an overnight bag just to head to the grocery store, maybe get the kiddos off to, I don't know, that early morning practice, the ice time, although we're getting closer to the end of the season. But as we edge into March, tomorrow is day 1 of March, this is the time of year across the Maritimes that the daytime high doesn't always occur in that typical spot into the afternoon. Much like last night, we saw the snow transitioning to rain with those rainfall warnings in place. I know made for a bit of a mess for that morning commute. Soggy start to the day. But look at these daytime highs as a result of that warmer wind direction, that brisk wind. Anywhere from 6 to over 9 degrees for temperatures for quite a time today, although did start to fall through the evening hours and will continue to fall as we take a look ahead. So as we look at those temperatures across Nova Scotia through the afternoon today, we could see close to that for daytime highs much later in the day for your Saturday, likely into the evening hours, late afternoon, evening, when those daytime highs finally do occur. So we'll start out very chilly in the morning. Any lingering precipitation we're seeing through the evening hours should taper off shortly after midnight, maybe for Cape Breton, maybe as far west as Port Hawkesbury past midnight, and only for an hour or two. Then that sky actually does begin to clear a fair amount to a partly cloudy sky through the overnight hours tonight. As we move into your Saturday morning, I think we'll see a bit more in terms of breaks of sunshine in the morning hours than what we're seeing on this forecast model behind me now. But the clouds will be increasing through the afternoon. You see a few isolated, I don't want to say showers and make you think rain showers. Until that temperature's up a few degrees above the freezing mark, we could see some wet snow rain showers mid to late afternoon, followed by that stronger south wind that ramps up late afternoon into the evening, and that will see rain showers of the non-mixing variety working across the province. Temperatures will be quite warm into early Sunday morning, but then we're ticking back down to near or below the freezing mark, likely through the middle part of the day, as we'll see a switch with that low moving off to our north and east. We'll see a switch to a west and then cooler northwesterly wind. That will be quite blustery as well, and that will see temperatures falling, which means any lingering pockets of precipitation that are still falling likely will be in the form of flurries. So maybe some mixing through the morning and then flurries as we look to the afternoon. And then as we move late into Sunday night, we have a ridge of high pressure that's building in. It will continue to move to the east and clear that sky up into Monday. Our first Monday of March, though, will start out on a very chilly note for the month of March. We're going to see that roller coaster up and down weather pattern persisting into next week as well. Get to your 7-day forecast in just a moment. So through the overnight hours tonight, temperatures will dip down to anywhere from -6 to -10. You're going to see those clouds starting to build in a little earlier into the pre-dawn hours tomorrow for more southern and western areas. So South Shore region becoming mainly cloudy. Otherwise, partly cloudy sky. Still that chance of some flurries lingering past midnight for eastern areas, Port Hawkesbury. As we look across Cape Breton up to Sydney, could see those flurries lingering into 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning before that sky does begin to clear. Don't get excited. You see those breaks of sun in the morning, and then the clouds start to build again. And then by mid to late afternoon, temperature dependent, it'll be either a mix, either flurries, rain, snow showers, or showers. These temperatures that we're seeing here, not necessarily your daytime highs. So we'll see those temperatures continuing to tick up into the evening as that strong southerly wind starts gusting 50, even over 60 kilometers per hour, and that will start to usher in that warmer air from the south as well. So daytime highs a little later in the day than typical, but on the plus side, at least for your Saturday, easing back below that for your Sunday. So day 1, day 2 of March for Saturday and Sunday would be that typical kind of maritime weather that we've come to expect, that up and down roller coaster weather pattern. A little bit messy at times, but precipitation not too heavy. That wind will be brisk, though. As we look to your Monday, we're actually going to start out below -10 for most areas in the early morning hours, and we're going to stay below freezing into the afternoon. We could see some late-day precipitation, but still, with the colder temperatures, at least a fair amount of sunshine through much of the day to start our first full week of March. And then taking a look at how that week looks to play out, decent amount of sunshine, temperatures near freezing as we edge into Tuesday. But Wednesday, this looks heavier than it is. I'm expecting some lighter rain and snow showers, starting out with some flurries. Later in the day, we start to see some mixing over to rain, which could be fairly heavy with some melting. We'll have to keep an eye on potential local flood issues, water pooling, ponding on roads for Thursday. And then those temperatures do ease back down with rain, snow showers into your Friday as well. Amy?
All right. Thanks for that, Jay.
You got it.
Folks at Neptune Theatre are gearing up for the production of Little Shop of Horrors. And of course, the big star of the show, one of the big stars, is a man-eating plant from space, Audrey 2. And I'm here with Rachel Forbes and Cassie Seaboyer. You're the creative minds behind the puppets here. Rachel, start with you. You're the designer. Tell me, how do you come up with this?
Well, yeah, the design comes from a lot of research around plants, around this, but also a bit of research into sci-fi, and playing with the ideas that are in the show is kind of how I started, and then conversation with the director is where I went from there.
Because it's not just a plant, it's a character.
It's a character, yeah. And I mean, I'm the set designer, and I have never designed something quite like this before, so it was quite the adventure to kind of come up with how this character exists in the world. It's awesome.
And of course, Cassie, you're the one who helps put it together. The character comes in 4 forms. Talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, so as the story progresses, Audrey 2 grows bigger and bigger because she's being fed very well. So she starts out as just a little tiny plant here, fresh from the flower shop where Seymour finds her. As he starts to feed her the secret growth formula, we'll call it, she starts to get bigger. So this is her second form. And of course, she gets taller. She has a tongue. But she gets hungrier and hungrier, and so she gets even bigger and bigger as she wants more and more. So this is an example of, well, this is our pod 3, and she's not quite done yet. She's being painted, she's being worked on still, but she's gonna look just like these ones, except a bit bigger. And then there is a final 4th form that is even bigger.
And behind us, what do we have here?
This is our wall of vines. So these are all of Audrey's vines as she gets bigger and bigger. For example, on 2, we start to see them come into play, but they're quite small. But as she grows, she needs those vines to get bigger as well.
And for Rachel, for you to see this sort of grow, literally grow, what is that like coming from concept to actually being able to touch her?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, going from my sketches, my ideas, and working them through discussion with a team of builders really helps to grow the idea into something realistic. I couldn't have come up with all of these little details on paper, but in reality, we got to make it kind of together as a team.
Now, when the audience sits down and the curtain goes up and the lights go on, what do you want people to feel?
Ooh, I want people to feel a little bit scared, a little bit nervous, a little bit excited.
What about you, Cassie? What is that feeling going to be like once middle of March 11th, I think it starts, when people are in their chairs and they get to see all the work that you've done?
I think there's going to be some chills, some scariness going on, but I think there's going to be a moment where our kind of disbelief, is this really happening? Is that a real creature on the stage? So I think there'll be some questioning of if the puppet's alive or not.
Now, there was a quick little video that went out on social. I understand that just sort of blew up for you guys.
Yeah, that was a fun little video that our friend June, she filmed just as a fun, let's just do a little video for fun, and then it just took off. So people are loving it, people are excited about the puppets, so it's pretty fun.
And you get to put this on your resume.
I sure do, yes.
All right, well, thanks for walking us through this. This sounds like a whole lot of fun, and best of luck. You've got a little bit of more work ahead of you.
Yep.
Yeah. Back to the greenhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming up, U.S. President Donald Trump accuses Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky of gambling with World War III in a tense White House meeting. And Doug Ford is re-elected as Ontario's premier with another majority and a mandate to fight Trump tariffs. Welcome back. U.S. President Donald Trump cut short a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky after an explosive meeting at the White House. Zelensky had planned to sign a deal to give the U.S. access to Ukraine's mineral industry, but the visit quickly devolved into a shouting match, with Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance berating the Ukrainian leader. Richard Madden reports from Washington.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
A stunning, unprecedented, and tense exchange inside the Oval Office as Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky berated by President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance.
You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President.
Trump showing no sympathy ahead of an intended signing ceremony guaranteeing Ukraine's security in exchange for billions worth of Ukraine's critical minerals to the U.S. Western allies believe this high-stakes deal could lead to a ceasefire in Ukraine's bloody war against Russia. But the chat quickly went off the rails.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that wasn't with me.
Trump accusing Zelensky of being difficult and greedy.
If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Their scheduled press conference was abruptly canceled. Zelensky was reportedly booted from the White House, leaving without a deal and raising more questions if the U.S. will continue supporting Ukraine as its war continues. On his social media platform, Trump accused Zelensky of disrespecting the U.S., but adding he's welcome to return to the White House when he's ready for peace. This shocking confrontation has appalled Western allies, but is being applauded by Trump's base, who view Zelensky as a grifter. Richard Madden, CBC News, Washington.
Israel's Gaza ceasefire negotiators are reportedly looking to change the timetable of January's framework agreement, extending the first phase into April. That first stage was to end tomorrow. It's unfolded with Israeli hostages freed in return for Palestinian prisoners. Phase 2 involves steps to make the ceasefire permanent, but details remain for negotiation. Israel had long balked at ending the conflict before achieving its war aims. A Hamas statement is urging world leaders to back Phase 2's immediate implementation. The Vatican says there's been a setback in the Pope's 2-week-long battle against double pneumonia. Earlier today, Pope Francis suffered a bronchial spasm and isolated coughing fit. Officials say he remains conscious and alert during the episode. He was admitted with breathing trouble on February 14th and initially diagnosed with bronchitis. In recent days, he's been able to carry on some work, but the Vatican says his prognosis remains guarded, noting that his clinical condition is complex. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has made history. He's won a third consecutive majority in the province, the first time that's happened in decades. But with threats to the Canadian economy and its sovereignty, the next 4 years could prove to be rocky. Nicole Williams reports.
A historic win, and with it, a promise to fight U.S. President Donald Trump head on.
Canada will never, ever be the 51st state. And Canada is not for sale.
It's Doug Ford's Progressive Conservatives' third consecutive majority in the province of Ontario, with 80 seats in the legislature, a first since 1959.
A strong mandate that outlives and outlasts the Trump administration. A mandate to do whatever it takes to protect Ontario
The new Democratic Party fell short of making gains, in fact lost 3 seats, but remained the official opposition, and a concession speech with an offer.
I really do want to offer him any possible help that we can provide in the face of the threat of Donald Trump.
I know tonight isn't exactly the result we were looking for.
The Liberals managed to return to official party status, a bittersweet victory with leader Bonnie Crombie failing to win her seat. Ford called the snap election late last month, hoping to gain even more seats he said would help him take on the White House.
I will never stop working for you because we're in a battle for the future of our province, for the future of our country.
But the next 4 years unlikely to be easy.
There will be obviously pain in Ontario if those tariffs are enacted. But so far, that has not come at the expense of Doug Ford's popularity.
A day after his historic win, Ford canceled his traditional press conference, conservative strategists suggesting he's already working on an approach to tariffs.
He almost needs to assemble a wartime cabinet to be prepared to do that, and I would assume that he would be having those conversations today.
Beyond this existential threat, Ford will also need to confront some key issues here at home, including affordable housing, healthcare, and the RCMP investigation into his role in putting up parts of the Greenbelt for sale. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Toronto.
Ontario is experiencing a sudden surge in measles cases since an outbreak began last October. The province is reporting 84 new cases over the course of 2 weeks. That is the largest outbreak Ontario has seen in almost 30 years, according to public health officials. Measles can cause serious illness and even death in unvaccinated children and teens. So far, 18 people have been hospitalized. The virus has also spread to Manitoba and New Brunswick. A recent study shows that a Montreal drug prevention program has helped reduce the risk of teens developing substance use disorders. It focuses on personality traits such as impulsiveness and anxiety and teaches teens tools to manage them. Alison Northcott reports.
These Montreal students say they learned a lot about themselves through a unique drug prevention workshop at their school.
I didn't realize that I got negative thoughts, and when I did that I realized, yeah, actually I get them a lot and this is how I can deal with them so I feel better.
So what are some of the things that he's thinking? The Montreal-based Preventure program focuses on certain personality traits like impulsivity and anxiety that could lead young people to use substances to cope.
What the program does is say, okay, let's learn about these traits. Let's learn how to identify them in us. And let's learn some coping strategies that can be used as alternatives to substance use.
It's done like once.
In 2 90-minute workshops in 7th grade, students gain insight into their own personalities and how to manage them.
It helped me a lot. Like, I'm less impulsive now.
A recent 5-year study in the American Journal of Psychiatry found Preventure in 31 Montreal area schools reduced the growth in the rate of substance use disorder by 35% year over year compared to the control group.
Aaron was an impulsive, sensation-seeking kid.
Justin Phillips' son Aaron died of an overdose in 2013 when he was 20. Now she's working to get Preventure into more schools in the U.S.
Aaron was very sensitive. He did have, some anxiety. Had we had these tools, I absolutely believe, it would have been different.
Phillips says policymakers tend to focus on treatment over prevention, something some experts hope will shift with growing evidence around programs that work.
I think sometimes it's hard for policymakers to make those investments in prevention because when we make investments in treatment, we often can see the results immediately.
In Montreal, Conrad says funding for prevention can be inconsistent and hard to access. She hopes that will change so programs like hers can be put in place in more communities. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
It's an issue consumer protection can't seem to get a handle on. A lot of people say they continue to get duped into pricey and unfair contracts for home heating and cooling equipment, all under the watch of a government that should be protecting them. Here's Rosa Marcatelli from CBC's Marketplace.
Please make your way to the studio.
All these people say they were taken by the same company, Provincial Smart Home Services.
Hi, my name is Ariana, and I'm here with my dad, Juan, and he signed a contract for $32,000.
Jim Ball, Burlington, Ontario. We signed a contract for $50,000.
They say the company made promises when they bought home heating and cooling equipment about government rebates, lower energy bills, and more, but didn't deliver. And then locked them into massive loans with skyrocketing interest rates involving financing companies they never agreed to do business with.
It's like this is a nightmare for us. We can't sleep, and then we don't know how this is gonna end.
Provincial Smart Home Services is now facing charges under the Ontario Consumer Protection Act. The company says it followed all the rules and has now shut down. Despite that, their customers are still on the hook for those massive loans under the financing companies.
Well, I mean, like everyone here, we're all very angry. But I think, in the end, I'm also greatly disappointed in the government system. When is this going to stop?
Bethany Pascudo is a lawyer and advocate.
There just aren't any punishments that match the crime.
She says even in cases where charges are laid, the government often doesn't follow through.
You're only as good as your results.
Case in point, she says. In 2022, Marketplace told you about a man named Saeed Tourbati. At the time, he and his HVAC companies were facing more than 100 charges under Ontario's Consumer Protection Act.
Nobody really cares about your reasons or excuses.
After that story, the government made a confidential deal with Tourbati, dropping the charges and taking him off a consumer watch list. In exchange, Tourbati had to pay restitution to customers, but the government won't say how many people actually got money, nor how much.
It protects the HVAC dealers. It's the consumers we need to be worried about protecting.
Saeed Tourbati says the deal with prosecutors was not an indication of any misconduct and was only meant to ensure customer satisfaction. When we asked the Ontario government how it plans to better protect consumers, it didn't respond. Rosa Marcatelli, CBC News, Toronto.
The 97th edition of the Oscars arrives this Sunday. The awards come in the thick of social and political turmoil with Donald Trump's presidency and the specter of trade wars bearing down on the film industry. Eli Glasner has more from Los Angeles.
The Academy Awards are just around the corner. The carpet is still getting dressed, and the races couldn't be tighter. Let's start with Best Actor race. Timothée Chalamet versus Adrien Brody. This remarkable performance by Brody playing Laszlo, the architect in The Brutalist. He won at the Golden Globes. This is somewhat of a comeback for him, but Chalamet has the momentum, winning at the SAG Awards, talking about wanting to be the greatest. Will that translate into a Best Actor win? That would make Timothée Chalamet the youngest actor ever to win in that category. A similar kind of contest in Best Actress, where we have Demi Moore for her remarkable performance in The Substance, a bit of a comeback for her, putting it all out there as this woman who is worried about aging in front of the camera, and yet she is competing with Mikey Madison, her starring role in the film Honora. And Honora has been collecting a lot of awards coming into this weekend's celebrations. Now, the big question is how the awards themselves and many of the Best Picture nominees will address the current political climate with this increasing talk of tariffs and increasing cross-border controls. Many of these movies are international productions where you have a film like The Brutalist where furniture was shipped from Toronto to Budapest so that the film could pretend to become Philadelphia. That is how the movie business works. The same could be said for the movie Dune Part 2, which is very much a global affair, and the producer, Tanya Lapointe, says she's not going to be intimidated by the politics.
I think that in dark times, we have to be the light. And I think that cinema is a world that, as I said, makes the impossible possible. And that despite anything that's going to happen politically, economically, we will keep making movies. And that is my true belief. And I will stick to that. And I will be one of those people who will be doing that.
So we'll wait to see how the awards address this current moment in America. But certainly, a lot will be ready to celebrate this year's crop of films. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Los Angeles.
Well, this next story sounds like something out of a movie. An unusual and dramatic rescue after a family's pet was stuck on a frozen lake for hours. Pratyesh Dayal has the story of how an Ontario community rallied together to save the stranded dog.
This was the exact moment when Rex the dog got rescued and reunited with his owners Jessica and Anthony Bondi after wandering on St. Clair Lake for over 28 hours.
We were in tears of joy, and then like all the people, there was probably 30 people in the little parkette. They're all crying and happy. They're like, "Oh, they got him!" And like it was a miracle.
It was
for
very
sure.
dramatic.
The couple say their two dogs, Rex and Charlie, went out to the canal Wednesday morning, something they never did before. And while Anthony got Charlie back, Rex was still far out on the canal, running farther away. The couple reached out to the OPP, Coast Guard, Fire Department, and local rescue groups for help.
A friend of mine had put a post on social media yesterday. And so she put a post just saying, we were looking in the area in Bell River. And at that point, that's when the community really started to get involved. And we had numerous people coming out. They brought their own set of binoculars. We had people come out with telescopes, and they were bringing us blankets and coffee and just whatever they could do really to offer any kind of support to us.
They are thankful to a local rescue group whose two volunteers walked on the ice to locate Rex, and also a friend who went out with a snowmobile.
And he tried to kind of chase him back this way because he was running in the wrong direction. So he did a bit roundabout and got him running in the right direction. And then eventually he was able to capture him and bring him in.
The couple spent the Thursday morning with many neighbors by the shoreline, looking through binoculars to locate the three men on the chase. It's kind of like a scene out of a movie almost, because like you have everyone there, the guys with the drone, and some guys there, he's got his Samsung phone zoomed away, and he's like, "I see him, I think he's got him." We're like, "Oh my gosh, is it him? Is it him? He's got him, he's got him." And then
I don't know how he survived overnight.
Yeah,
And
it was crazy.
He came home completely unscathed. He's dry, he's healthy, he doesn't have any injuries, and he ate a big bowl of food, and now he's sleeping nice and cozy on the couch. So we couldn't be more happy.
Pratish Dayal, CBC News, Windsor.
A happy ending. Well, Canada's main stock index made gains today, led by strength in financial and industrial stocks. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break. Frustration for drivers Friday morning along Highway 101 between Mount Uniacke and Beaverbank. The combination of heavy rain with the freeze and thaw made for the ideal recipe for potholes. That resulted in dozens of drivers getting flat tires, including Laura Butt.
I was driving on my way to work here this morning on 101, and a pothole that's been here for a little while is tripled in size. So I tried to avoid it, but it's pretty big. So along with a dozen other cars, I blew my tire. It was pretty unavoidable unless I was going to swerve into the other lane, which was not possible.
Butt says she called the city to report the pothole and inquire about a claim. Road crews eventually responded to do some repairs. And Jay Scotland joins us for one last look at the weather, and we're moving into March.
We are moving into March, and the typical, man, oh man, hot 1 minute, cold the next kind of weather that we come to expect in the Maritimes in the shoulder seasons, that looks to continue as well. So we'll watch for, as we work past midnight, any lingering flurries. I think will be eastern areas, likely east of even Port Hawkesbury as we look into Cape Breton. Those flurries only lasting a few hours, and then that sky is partially clear through the overnight hours into your Saturday morning, starting out with a mix of sun and cloud, maybe leaning a little bit more towards the cloudier side of that mix in the morning, and then watch for maybe some rain, snow showers to start to build in mid to late afternoon. By late afternoon, temperatures should be warm enough for all but eastern areas that this should be falling as rain showers, if not transitioning quite quickly thereafter, and then we'll see steadier pockets of precipitation. This looks like a mix, but the temperatures I'm seeing at that time are a little just too warm for the mixing. I think just some steadier pockets of rain will be building in with a very gusty south wind. It's a warmer wind, seeing our daytime highs occurring later in the day for your Saturday. So as we look to the HRM, your day planner forecast, starting out partly cloudy, temperatures on the cool side in the morning. Wind not too bad, so not too much of a wind chill early in the morning. As the wind increases, it veers around to more of a southerly direction. So warmer wind direction, clouds will increase. This will be shortly after noon hour. If we see any light and very scattered showers moving in. They could be mixing with some flurries. Otherwise, just mainly cloudy with a peak or two of sunshine. And then as we move into the late afternoon, this is where we'll start to see some showers building in ahead of steadier rain, which arrives into your Saturday evening. And that wind by late afternoon from the south to southeast, 25, 30 sustained, could see gusts up to 50 kilometers per hour. Coastal areas could see gusts beyond that as well. So it will become quite blustery, Amy, but at least that is a warmer wind direction. Still blustery on Sunday, but a west to northwest wind. We'll see much cooler air building back in to the region to round out our first weekend.
All right. Well, have a great weekend, and thanks, Jay.
You too.
Volunteers at Big Bend National Park in southwest Texas have discovered a fuzzy new plant. They call it the woolly devil. The scientific name is Ovicula biradiata. Ovicula is Latin for tiny sheep, and biradiata references the two ray petals in each flower. Researchers say it's a new genus within the same family as daisies, the first new genus to be discovered in a U.S. national park in almost 50 years. And that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.